Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you an OP dual magma blades build guide in Elden Ring. This is a really fun weapon because it hits multiple times with jump attacks, it deals fire damage, and it has a really cool weapon here which leaves magma all over the ground, so you can deal damage over time to enemies. Now this weapon is incredibly strong and it scales interestingly, so I'll be showing you the full leveling guide here. At level 150 we have 50 vigor, 27 mind, 28 endurance, allowing us to have 56 poison and medium roll. I went with 42 strength, 25 dexterity, and 36 faith. This gives us the most amount of damage per level investment. It scales off of dexterity, strength, and faith, but dexterity it falls off a little bit quicker in its scaling, so if we go with something like that, it allows us to choose some different weapons if we want to switch things up. But it's mostly going to be faith and strength scaling. So the faith will impact the fire damage and the strength will impact the physical damage. I went with 16 arcane, which still allows us to do things like swarm of flies to trigger blood loss on enemies, which is a nice backup to have on this. I also went with the claw talisman, the raptor's black feathers. I have the DLC version of that because 4 times attack on jump attacks is huge. I also went the rod wingsword insignia and Millicent's prosthesis, but you can go with like the Shard of Alexander for extra damage, or even the Carrion Filigree crest to lower the FP consumption if you're using the skill. So that's what we went with there for the overall talisman and choices there. Magma Shower is a pretty fun weapon, but just go with single attacks there. It doesn't do a crazy amount of damage. It does have a pretty fast charge attack, which comes out like that, which is very cool. But I think that the best way to use this weapon is to actually go with jump attacks. So with the jump attacks, pressing a miss there, pressing R1, we can hit 4 times. I'm doing a terrible job of showcasing that, but you typically want to be using the power stance moveset on this as weapon. So if you're not using that, also use the magma shower. So there we go. If we jump and attack close to the ground, you're able to get the attack off multiple times. So that's typically how we want to go about doing it. So it does come out pretty quickly here from a jump attack, as that's typical for most weapons. The jump attack is going to come out very fast, but also using just L1 here to just attack 2 times with it is kind of the way to go for most trash mobs, because you're going to hit them multiple times, which will build up the Millicent's prosthesis and the rod and wingsword insignia there multiple times. So it can be pretty decent damage. Now I'll show you another strategy to use with this weapon, so I'll just go refresh them at the grace here, because there's a few different ways we can play about this weapon. It is a very rare weapon to get dropped, so if you unlock, or if you find it, you probably want to have a fun build for it. So going in with the magma shower is another really great choice. It comes around as a swirl attack and you can attack multiple times with it, so it also has a really good attack there. So if we press that once and then press R1, we can follow it up, and usually that'll be enough to take out most basic enemies, but the fire will get them otherwise. So that's a nice thing, is it deals the damage over time. Not enough to take that guy out there, but typically we want to be pressing L1 or L1 or L2. So for the weapon art, oh geez, I knew that was coming. The weapon art is incredibly powerful with that magma shower because it'll leave that area damage behind, but also hits in a spinning slash like movement. But jump attacks is your best friend because it does a bunch of damage whenever you're doing. It'll go boom boom and hit 4 times. The trick to that one is you want to jump when it's close, when you're close to the ground. So we also got Flame Grant Me Strength and Golden Bow. You should use those in reverse order. Golden Bow lasts a little bit longer, so this gives it an even further buff to our damage, which allows us to take them out with 1 slash there. So that makes this a lot better. I would highly recommend using those buffs on this weapon. It does have a pretty short range, so that's the only downside to this weapon, is you do have to be mindful when you're attacking with it. So you can get most enemies taken down. If they're weak to fire, even better. Like, this is a decent weapon against Millennia. You can follow it up with that attack there and cover the ground in fire. So there's a few different ways you can go about using this weapon. It is quite a strong weapon, and I really think that the magma shower is the best feature of this. So you can inflict fire damage over time and coat that whole floor with fire. The ground is lava, and the magma blade is a strong weapon. So if you found this video useful, please hit that subscribe button below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.